What do you think is the most valuable resource in Solo Leveling Arise? Is it summoning tickets, gold, or is it enhancement materials? Well, if you think it's gold, then you'd be correct, which is why today I'll be going over all the methods to gain gold, as well as other methods you might not know. So in Solo Leveling Arise, there's two different methods when it comes to actually making gold. There's some pieces of content that'll give you really huge amounts of first-time amounts of gold, but they can never be claimed again. Or you can have repeatable methods where you can get gold very consistently and constantly, but the amount of gold you get is much less. So let's start off with all of the first time gold rewards that you can get in the game. And the first, of course, is being the story, as for every first time you beat a stage in the story, you can yield a bit of gold. As for being this stage, hypothesis confirmed, I can get up to 11.1 thousand gold. And then this is also the exact same for hard mode as well, so you can also gain gold through that. Then the next method is going to be through your Battlefield of Trials, as you go through the stage right here on floor 26, I can earn up to 110,000 gold just by beating the stage. But of course these stages are much harder, so on the earlier floors you won't be able to make as much gold, but as you progress all the way through all of these floors you'll be able to get a ton of gold as well. And then this will also be repeated throughout the hunter version as well, as you can see right here. Challenges are next, and this is also a fantastic way to get a bunch of just in general first time rewards, but also you can get a ton of gold here as well, of course, because there's up to 12 chapters for you to do, and you can get gold in quite a lot of these, as you can see. And then you also have achievements. There's 4 different kinds of achievements where you can get different types of rewards in all of them, mainly being the only really ones where you get much different ones are stuff like these, where you have the obtain characters ones, but you still can actually get gold from these ones. And depending on the achievement, you'll get different amounts of gold. As for this one, if you spend, what is that, like 10, 100 million gold, whatever that is, then you can get 50,000 gold back, which is, it's definitely something at the end of the day. So it's just something that you can also gain that's pretty passively, but it's something that you can only claim for the first time. And then there's also the codex, and unfortunately I believe it's only through memorabilia, as for every piece of memorabilia you can get up to 2,000 gold, as you can see right here, as I've claimed quite a few of these. This isn't really going to be a lot of gold at all, as there's only, what, like 25 of these memorabilia in the game, so there's really not a lot of these. So it's obviously worth doing because you just, and worth claiming because I think you just get all of these through just playing the story anyways, so yeah, it's worth it. And then next up is going to be redeem codes. Now basically the developers will release redemption codes that you can redeem by going to your account settings and then clicking redeem code, and then you'll be able to type in codes, which I'll put on 2 codes on screen that do yield gold. And if you want to find out any other codes, then you can follow my Solo Leveling Arise news account, which the link for that will be down below in the description. And I believe in total they've given out around like 300,000 worth in gold, so it's not too bad, and hopefully they'll just keep consistently releasing these so we can get a ton of gold through that way as well. And then the next way is going to be increasing your battle class, and essentially what this is, it basically, the game will just see what your strongest possible team is, and then how much max power or total power that team currently has, and then depending on how much power that team does have, then you'll be able to claim certain rewards where you can get a ton of Essence Stones as well as a good amount of gold as well. As there's up to 41 classes in total, and for every class that you do reach, you can get up to 10,000 gold for every single one of those. So there's a lot of gold to be had here, which is really, really good. Just around, what, under like 500,000, so not too bad at all. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that is pretty much every sort of method where you can get gold for first time rewards and get a good chunk of gold to start off with. So now what are all the repeatable, consistent methods where you can earn a lot of gold? So the first method is going to be through ranked game modes. So the 2 ranked game modes that we have currently are Battlefield of Time as well as Power of Destruction. And starting off with Battlefield of Time, you'll have the regular season as well as the challenge. And if we go ahead through here, we can go and look at the rewards. And then as you can see from clearing the bosses within a certain amount of time, you'll be able to get a set amount of gold, albeit it's not a huge amount of gold considering how quickly you have to beat these bosses, but it's still another way of you getting gold. And you can probably get up to around, like, yeah, probably close, or maybe just over, like, yeah, probably close around 100,000 gold, so it's not the worst thing in the world, at least, especially because there's also 4 bosses for you to fight in total, so that's a good amount of gold right there. And then through the challenge as well, in the ranking rewards, as you can see, we can get a decent amount of gold depending on where you place overall in your server, as well as also in your group as well, I believe, or is it through, yeah, it's through achievement rewards instead, so very similar to how it works in the actual main season. So this is also another other place for you to get some gold. And then of course Power of Destruction as well, you can get gold by reaching certain point milestones as well, although this version of the dragon is a much harder one, so this is going to be extremely difficult for you to get. And then you'll also be able to get it through your group rank rewards as well, depending on where you place in your actual group, so at least top 25%, which is pretty easy, I think, especially in early access when there's not too many people at the moment. So yeah, I think this is also a pretty decent way of getting gold. And then through also solo challenges, once you've gotten a certain amount of points, although it's not a huge amount of gold, only up to 25,000, so nothing too impressive. And then we also have encore missions as well as instance dungeons. These will also yield gold for every time you complete it, and these are technically repeatable because you do get the keys at every daily reset, so it's not a huge amount of gold, up to 457 gold per run. It's a really low amount, but considering you're just clearing these anyway, it's not horrendously bad. I mean, it is quite bad, but it's still something. And then of course the same will go for the instance dungeons as well, up to 457 gold per run. But these things like the instance dungeons as well as encore missions will also play a pretty big role in the other method that I mentioned earlier in the intro that you might not know, so stick around to find that out. And then we have gates. Gates just act like dungeons and stuff that you can play, and depending on what kind of gate and what maybe rank they are at will depend on how much gold you get. So for example, this A rank dungeon break will give me up to 1,586 gold, all the way up to 1,939 gold. And then you'll also be able to get it through achieving these gate missions, as once you've cleared through all 3 stages of the Jinwu XP, it will then be converted into gold instead, so you can then clear 3 more, up to I think it's 3 or 4 more gate missions, and then you'll be able to get a bit of extra gold there as well. And then after you've cleared certain gates, you can also mine those gates, where you can also achieve gold as well. So for example, this red gate of an A rank, I can, by mining it, I can get up to 2,380 gold, all the way up to 3,490. And then depending on what your actual mining, I guess, team level is, then it will change how much gold you actually acquire from these stages, so you can always increase this amount as well. So make sure you're trying to mine as many gates as you possibly can, so you can level your team up as fast as possible. So for example, we got these 2 A rank gates here, we can claim them, and then that's just a free easy 5.3k gold, as well as some other stuff right here. And then we have some added gold right here for just clearing the thing as well, which is also really, really good. Then we have activity funds. Activity funds are basically just like an AFK thing that you get over time. It's just a meter that fills up over time, and then so as you can see, I can get up to 28 gold every minute, and then this will fill up just as the day goes on, even when you're offline as well. And then you can obtain bonus ones depending if you've bought certain special like features and stuff within the game, as well as being able to claim these special funds right here, which will just give you 6 hours worth of this meter pretty much instantly, and you can claim this once a day if you have the special funds. So I can just pretty much go ahead and come here and then claim it pretty much every day. I can get some Jinwu XP as well as some gold. It's not a huge amount, but it's still some. And the way that you actually increase this is by leveling up all of your hunters within the game, as basically it's sort of broken down into many different tiers, going all the way up to level 2000, where you can get up to a 10% gold and a 10% Jinwu XP increase. And the way it calculates this level is basically just the total levels of all of your hunters combined, I'm pretty sure. So before it was 515, so if I wanted to say, I don't know, let's bring up Dongsu's level all the way up to 57, spend 84k gold. There we go. And then if I go back to my activity funds, then you'll see right here, it's gone up to level 521, all the way up from 515. So it's another incentive for you to start leveling up your hunters and building up your hunters in general. So as eventually, although it will take a huge amount of time to do so, for it to actually pay back, it's still something that you can do to increase the amount of gold gain you get every day. And then we also have missions. You'll have daily missions as well as also weekly missions, and I believe the weekly missions only give you gold once, up to 32,500 gold, which is still something. It's something you can claim every week, and it will all definitely add up. And then also across daily missions, you can get 30,000 gold, and I believe that's it. So there's at least a free 30,000 gold every day you can get there as well. And obviously this isn't a huge amount of gold. For a lot of these repeatable gold methods isn't a huge amount of gold, but if you do it every day, then you'll be able to get a decent chunk every day, although it will still never be enough, as gold is a massive issue within this game currently. But so hopefully we can just hope that the devs give us either more methods or just increase the amount of gold that we get. And then of course we have things like the shops. Obviously there's like paid methods, as you can see right here, but there's also other free-to-play methods where you can get gold through exchange shops. As in the Celebration Coin Exchange shop, you can, if I scroll down, you can claim up to, I believe, what is this, 300,000 gold every month. So it's really expensive, but it's another way for you to get gold. I really would not recommend buying this whatsoever, as there's a lot more valuable things within here, such as your draw tickets. But then if we do actually come to the Battlefield of Time exchange shop, you can also spend the currency from here to then actually spend and buy some gold as well. So you can get up to 1 million gold, which will cost you 2,500 of these. So maybe if you don't really need anything else that's within here, of course, you're going to want the summoning tickets as well. So if you are needing anything, well, sorry, if you don't need anything else in here, then you can always come here and buy some gold as well. And then we also have battle passes. Battle passes will be a seasonal thing, so they are technically repeatable. So, and they are a pretty decent way of claiming a ton of gold as well. So you can claim, it's probably around what, like 300k gold for every common battle pass. And then if you buy the premium one, that's another 300k, I think. So yeah, there's a lot of gold to be collected right here as well. So all you got to do is these missions, and then you can level up your hunter pass, and then you can claim gold through just the main rewards. But once you've also actually completed the battle pass, you can also obtain bonus gold for every level that you get. And then we also have things like logins as well. I believe this 28-day check-in is going to be something that will repeat. I'm not too sure. That's why I've put it under repeatable gold, as you can get a decent amount of gold just by logging into the game every day, as well as they also hold other special events and stuff where you can just log in and get free rewards every day, but it just doesn't show it within the check-in menu. But it's sort of a thing that you just don't see, and then you'll just log in and then you'll just see some stuff appear in your mail. So there's also that as well. But yeah, you can get some decent rewards just in general, as well as just a good amount of gold just through logging in every day. All right, so onto the final method before the, I guess, sort of secret money making method is going to be actually events, as there will always be events that are run as it's on like sort of like a cycle, where you got things like your hunter growth events where you can get gold, as well as dungeon exploration where you can get gold. You got hunter previews, which will give you gold as well. You got the dice event, which gives you gold on the board, as you can see right here. Then we've got things through like collecting letters, which you can exchange the letters for gold as well. So events will always have a certain method to allow you to gain a little bit of gold, albeit never a huge amount. It's still something at least. So this is it's also fun to do. Events are always fun to do, so it's also a really just nice fun way of getting gold. Alright, so the very final method of getting gold, and obviously I did mention encore missions and instance dungeons playing a huge role in how you can make a lot of gold within the game, and that is because once you beat these stages, you can obtain artifacts. And essentially you'll notice and realize that a lot of, or mainly 95% of your artifacts that you get are going to be pretty useless. So what you can do with these is come to this button right here. You can click it, and then you'll be able to dismantle and sell a ton of your gear. So if I just go select all, I'm not actually going to sell all of this because I don't really need to right now. And then I could go ahead and sell all of this gear right here up to 100. You can sell 100 at a time. And then I can make up to 200,000 gold extremely easily and quickly. Now, obviously, this is going to take quite a while for you to build up a lot of gear, as you need to clear a lot of encore missions, gates, like story missions, whatever, and stuff like that for you to get the gear pieces. But it will add up over time. And like I said before, a lot of the pieces of gear you're going to get are going to be practically useless. So considering there's no reason for you to actually keep them around, you might as well just use them and just sell them to make a bit of extra change as well, because there's no reason not to. Alright, so there you have it. That, I believe, is all of the methods to making gold in Solo Leveling Arise. If you enjoyed the video or you found it useful, then please don't forget to like and subscribe, as I'll see you in the next video. Peace!